The relationship between Russia and Ukraine is a complex and troubled one. It is a story that spans centuries, marked by periods of unity and division, cooperation and conflict. To truly understand the current situation, we must delve into the historical context that has shaped the interactions between these two nations. For centuries, the two countries have been intertwined, sharing cultural ties, religious traditions, and historical experiences. The Orthodox Church, for instance, has played a significant role in both societies, influencing their cultural and spiritual lives. Festivals and traditions often reflect a shared heritage, yet these commonalities have not always translated into political harmony. Yet they have also been locked in a struggle for power and influence, a struggle that has intensified in recent years. The Orange Revolution in 2004 and the Euromaidan protests in 2013 to 2014 are key examples of Ukraine's efforts to assert its independence and move closer to Western Europe, much to Russia's dismay. These events have led to significant political upheaval and military confrontations. This essay will explore the deep-rooted reasons behind Russia's obsession with Ukraine, examining the historical, geopolitical, and ideological factors that have fueled this conflict. From the days of the Kievan Rus to the Soviet era and beyond, the relationship has been fraught with tension and competition. Why does Ukraine matter so much to Russia? The answer lies in a combination of strategic, economic, and cultural factors. Ukraine's fertile lands, industrial base, and access to the Black Sea make it a valuable asset. Moreover, Ukraine's position as a buffer state between Russia and NATO is of immense strategic importance to Moscow. What are the historical roots of this conflict? The annexation of Crimea in 2014 and the ongoing conflict in eastern Ukraine are just the latest chapters in a long history of territorial disputes and power struggles. The legacy of the Soviet Union and the complex process of post-Soviet state-building have left deep scars and unresolved issues. And what are the implications for the future of both countries and the world? The Russia-Ukraine conflict has far-reaching consequences, affecting international relations, global security, and economic stability. The involvement of NATO and the European Union, as well as the responses from other global powers, add layers of complexity to an already intricate situation. This essay will delve into these questions, shedding light on one of the most pressing geopolitical crises of our time. By examining the historical context, current dynamics, and future implications, we aim to provide a comprehensive understanding of the conflict. Understanding the complexities of the Russia-Ukraine conflict is crucial for comprehending the current geopolitical landscape and the potential consequences for global security and stability. The decisions made by political leaders today will shape the future of not only these two nations, but also the broader international community. This map illustrates the geographical proximity of Russia and Ukraine, highlighting their shared borders and strategic locations. The close physical proximity has historically led to both cooperation and conflict, making the current situation even more volatile and significant. Ukraine occupies a unique and strategically vital position in Eastern Europe. Nestled between the vast expanse of Russia to the east and the diverse nations of Europe to the west, Ukraine's location has always been of immense geopolitical significance. This positioning has not only influenced its political landscape, but also its cultural and economic interactions with neighboring regions. Situated at the crossroads of East and West, it serves as a bridge between Russia and Europe. This role as a connector has made Ukraine a focal point for trade, diplomacy, and cultural exchange. The country's highways, railways, and pipelines are vital arteries that facilitate the movement of goods, people, and energy between two major parts of the world. This geographical reality has shaped Ukraine's history and identity, making it a battleground for competing empires and ideologies. Over the centuries, Ukraine has seen the rise and fall of various powers, from the Mongol invasions to the Ottoman Empire, and from the Austro-Hungarian rule to the Soviet era. Each of these periods left an indelible mark on the nation's culture, architecture, and societal norms. Ukraine's vast, fertile plains, known as the breadbasket of Europe, have been a source of agricultural wealth for centuries. These plains, with their rich and fertile soil, have supported extensive farming activities, making Ukraine one of the leading agricultural producers in the world. The country's ability to produce large quantities of grain has been crucial not only for its own economy, but also for global food security. Its rich black soil is ideal for growing wheat, barley, and sunflowers, making it a major exporter of these commodities. The quality of Ukraine's soil, often referred to as Chernozem, is among the best in the world, providing optimal conditions for agriculture. This has enabled Ukraine to become a key player in the global agricultural market, exporting vast quantities of grain and other crops to countries around the globe. Ukraine's fertile plains, often called the breadbasket of Europe, are visible in this image, highlighting the country's agricultural importance. The extensive fields of wheat, barley, and sunflowers stretch as far as the eye can see, a testament to the country's agricultural prowess. These fields not only feed millions but also contribute significantly to Ukraine's GDP. Ukraine also boasts significant mineral resources including coal, iron ore, and natural gas. These resources have been the backbone of Ukraine's industrial sector, providing raw materials for manufacturing and energy production. The mining industry in particular has been a major employer and a significant contributor to the national economy. These resources have fueled industrial development and made Ukraine an important economic partner for both Russia and European countries. The industrial plants and factories that dot the Ukrainian landscape are a testament to the country's industrial capabilities. From steel production to machinery manufacturing, Ukraine's industries are diverse and robust, playing a crucial role in the regional economy. Moreover, Ukraine controls crucial transit routes for Russian natural gas exports to Europe. The network of pipelines that crisscross the country is essential for the transportation of natural gas from Russia to various European nations. This infrastructure is not only vital for energy supply but also for the economic stability of the region. Pipelines running through Ukrainian territory transport a significant portion of Russia's gas supplies to its western neighbors. This transit system is a lifeline for many European countries that rely heavily on Russian natural gas for their energy needs. The maintenance and security of these pipelines are of paramount importance, given their role in ensuring a steady energy supply. This strategic position gives Ukraine leverage over Russia and has been a point of contention between the two countries. Control over these transit routes has often been a bargaining chip in political and economic negotiations. The disputes over gas prices and transit fees have sometimes led to broader geopolitical tensions, underscoring the critical role that Ukraine plays in the energy dynamics of the region. To understand the current conflict, it is essential to delve into the shared history of Russia and Ukraine. Both nations trace their roots back to the medieval East Slavic state of Kievan Rus, centered in present-day Kiev, Ukraine's capital. Kievan Ruses flourished between the 9th and 13th centuries, establishing trade routes, spreading Christianity, and laying the foundation for the cultural and linguistic similarities that bind Russians and Ukrainians today. However, the Mongol invasions in the 13th century led to the decline and fragmentation of Kievan Rus. This artistic representation showcases the architectural splendor and cultural vibrancy of Kievan Rus, a shared heritage of both Russia and Ukraine. While Ukrainian lands came under the rule of the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth, the Principality of Moscow emerged as a new center of power, eventually evolving into the Russian Empire. This divergence in historical trajectories played a key role in shaping the distinct national identities of Russia and Ukraine. The collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991 marked a turning point in the relationship between Russia and Ukraine. It was a moment that reshaped the geopolitical landscape of Eastern Europe and had far-reaching consequences for the entire world. The dissolution of the Soviet Union was not just a political event, it was a seismic shift that affected millions of lives, altering the course of history. After decades of being forcefully incorporated into the Soviet Union, Ukraine declared its independence in accordance with the results of a referendum in which the majority of Ukrainians voted unequivocally to leave the Soviet Union. This referendum was a powerful expression of the Ukrainian people's desire for self-governance and freedom. It was a clear message to the world that Ukraine was ready to chart its own course, free from the influence of Moscow. This event was a momentous occasion for Ukrainians, finally achieving their long-cherished dream of self-determination. The streets were filled with jubilant crowds waving the blue and yellow Ukrainian flag, singing patriotic songs and celebrating their newfound independence. It was a time of hope and optimism, a time when the future seemed bright and full of possibilities. However, for Russia, the loss of Ukraine was a profound psychological blow. The breakup of the Soviet Union was seen by many Russians as a national tragedy, a humiliating defeat that left deep scars on the Russian psyche. The loss of Ukraine, in particular, was felt acutely, as it had been an integral part of the Soviet Union, both culturally and economically. Ukraine had been an integral part of the Soviet Union, its breadbasket and industrial powerhouse. The fertile lands of Ukraine provided much of the Soviet Union's grain, while its factories and mines were crucial to the Soviet economy. The loss of these resources was a significant blow to Russia, both economically and strategically. Losing control over Ukraine was seen as a major geopolitical setback for Russia, diminishing its influence and status on the world stage. The breakup of the Soviet Union left Russia isolated and weakened, struggling to maintain its position as a global power. The loss of Ukraine was a key part of this decline, as it reduced Russia's ability to project power and influence in Eastern Europe. This image captures the euphoria and hope that accompanied the fall of the Soviet Union, marking a new era for Ukraine and other former Soviet republics. For many, it was a time of liberation and new beginnings, a chance to build a better future free from the constraints of Soviet rule. But for others, it was a time of uncertainty and fear, as the old order gave way to a new and unfamiliar world. The breakup of the Soviet Union also left behind a legacy of unresolved issues, including territorial disputes and the presence of Russian military bases on Ukrainian soil. These issues would become a source of tension and conflict in the years to come, as both Russia and Ukraine struggled to define their new relationship in the post-Soviet world. These unresolved issues would continue to cast a shadow over the relationship between the two countries in the years to come. The legacy of the Soviet Union's collapse is still felt today, as Russia and Ukraine navigate a complex and often contentious relationship. The wounds of the past have not yet healed, and the future remains uncertain.